The doomer messaging on post-vaccine life has been a disaster, and I'm going to show you why in just a second. We start right here with the President of the United States, Joe Biden, a man who is both fully vaccinated and probably in a room with people who are fully vaccinated. Yet there he is wearing not one but two masks in this meeting with the Japanese Prime Minister at the White House. They're all vaccinated. When you wear two masks after that, it starts to seem performative. And when your messaging suggests that even if people do get both doses of a vaccine where you need to get two doses, they shouldn't go back to normal life, is unhelpful and it will cause more problems. One of those looks like an N95. So he's really protected there. Let's go over to Ron DeSantis. I think he's got the messaging right on this one. Whether you agree with his politics or not, DeSantis is saying the pause on the J&J vaccine, the idea that everything is not going to eke its way back to normality after you have your second vaccine shot, it's not helpful. In fact, it's bad.
I think the messaging on this has been horrific. The messaging should be, get a vaccine because it's good for you to do it. It works. You're not going to have to be doing anything like abnormal. You can live your life. I mean, that has got to be what the message is. Unfortunately, I think the message has been very muddled when you tell people, oh, yeah, this is important, go get the vaccine, but then you still got a social, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't eat in a restaurant. Some of the people are still saying that kind of stuff. I think it's a huge blunder to be able to do it. So the challenge for us is going to be, we're going to have vaccine available, and you're not going to be able to probably fill up the appointments. And I think that that's going to be consistent throughout the country. So my view is if you get a vaccine, the vaccines are effective, you're immune. And so act immune.
Okay, and this was seen as controversial somehow. He's exactly right. If you got the vaccine, if you've gone through your second shot, enough time has passed that you should be in the clear. You are immune, so act immune. Otherwise, what's the point of getting it? And when you tell people that even after you get your second shot of your Moderna, or in my case, Pfizer, I'm fully vaccinated right now, if you get both those shots, there are no benefits. You don't get to resume your normal life. You don't get to ditch the masks. We don't even have a timeline for ditching the masks in most cases. You don't get to hang out with your friends and to hug your grandma. No, you don't get to do any of that. So what is the point? This is a really very salient point, I think, that the DeSantis is making here. So how's it going to be received? Oh, let's take a look here. Here's Kurt Bardella. You may say he's just some kook on Twitter. Actually, he works for the LA Times and USA Today. And he says, Dr. Death Ron DeSantis at your service. For saying if you get a vaccine, you're immune, so act immune. Dr. Death Ron DeSantis at your service. Let's check out this Kurt Bardella guy. Here he is. This is just a couple of days ago, actually. Got my second vaccine today, and I am so ready to hit the road and see some live country music concerts. So excited to see Brad Paisley and Jimmy Allen tour together. Cannot wait to hear Freedom Was a Highway live. Well, he's riding that Freedom Highway right out of his second vaccine shot. But, when DeSantis talks about it, Dr. Death, Ron DeSantis at your service. Well, this messaging runs deep. Here is one moment where Anthony Fauci was talking about this, the need to wear masks even after you get your second vaccine shot.
But I would recommend to people to not abandon all public health measures just because you've been vaccinated, because even though for the general population it might be 90 to 95% effective, you don't necessarily know for you how effective it is.
So you see the doomer messaging at work there. Even though it's going to be like 95% effective and virtually 100% effective of causing any serious cases, you can never be too careful, so let's live in caves for the rest of our lives. I don't think that works with the public. Here's another case where he's talking about even after you get your second vaccine shot, Fauci says you shouldn't be flying.
The situation, though, does not change what Dr. Walensky said, that it is not a good idea to travel, period. I mean, if you absolutely have to travel and it's essential, then obviously one would have to do that. But we don't want people to think because they got vaccinated, then other public health recommendations just don't apply.
My God, once you get the vaccine, fly. Do whatever you have to do to enjoy your life. The big problem with this is it aids in the people who don't want to get vaccine, which is already a partisan issue. Take a look at this. This is from a recent poll, and they said, which comes closest to your situation? You are not planning to receive a COVID-19 vaccine, or you are planning to receive or have already received a COVID-19 vaccine. Don't plan to. Republicans, 45% say that they don't plan to. Only 50% say they plan to or they already have. Democrats, only 7% say they don't plan to, and 91% say they plan to or they already have gotten the vaccine. And that is much more drastic when you get up into the 50 to 65-year-old age brackets. We're going to throw those numbers off even more by telling people you get nothing out of getting the vaccine. We already have a major problem with misinformation about this stuff. I love this study that Brookings did, where they asked Republicans and Democrats, what percentage of people in these age brackets do you think are hospitalized per infection? So if 100 people get COVID-19, what percentage of those people goes to the hospital? And 50 plus, Democrats thought 4 out of 10 went to the hospital. Even Republicans thought 28%, or almost 3 out of 10 people who are 50 and above would go to the hospital. In 20 and up, right? The age is 20 and up. There's 27% on the Democratic side, 22% on the Republican side. People were uninformed because of the politics in this. We need to take the politics out. Oh, no. Oh, hold on. Let's stop everything. Let's stop. Investigation launched into the death of a medical student, 21. He looks healthy, this guy. He died a day after getting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Huh. All right. His cause of death has not been determined. However, a preliminary autopsy report filed with the Hamilton County Coroner's Office appears to be leaning toward a heart or breathing issue. His death came into question due to the close proximity to Foley being administered the single-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine. He got the vaccine Saturday. He died the following day. By the preliminary autopsy findings, we don't see a direct connection between the two. It wasn't the vaccine, but let's not lose an opportunity to scare the hell out of people. You have great news in places like Israel where many people are vaccinated. Look at that. I mean, the graph doesn't lie. Look at that. This is what it does. When it gets down that low, you can take the masks off and you can move back to a normal life. This will help more people get vaccinated. Hollywood seems to be just thrilled about the idea this doomer mentality will live on forever. They push a movie called Songbird. In the terrifying thriller Songbird, the COVID-23 virus is mutated and the world is on its 4th year of lockdown. No, thank you. How common is this, actually? How common is it that you would be fully vaccinated, yet you would still get COVID? Well, 5,800 fully vaccinated people got COVID-19. That is out of 77 million people. Out of 77 million people, 5,800 got COVID-19 after being fully vaccinated, and 396 were hospitalized. 74 people died. That is not very common. To put it bluntly, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is now reporting that out of 77 million Americans who are fully vaccinated so far, there have been around 5,800 cases of breakthrough infections. That's 0.0075% of the people, and 396 resulted in hospitalization, 74 in death. That means it's less than a 1 in a million chance that you would die after getting the vaccine of COVID-19, which is less than dying from hang gliding, from skydiving, from boxing, from scuba diving, from American football, or swimming, or running and jogging. Well, those are tied, really, if you look at it that way. Maybe it would be more dangerous to hang glide while boxing and then land and scuba dive, but your risk is very, very low. Oh, look! Oh, Biden took off the mask. Let's see what he ends up saying here. He's talking about something.
And Yossi, I know how proud you are of the people of Japan are. And you've got a Japanese boy coming over here, and guess what? He won the Masters. He won the Masters. He won the green jacket.
Maybe you should have put the mask back on. Could have muffled that a little bit. We wouldn't have to worry about it. So what do you think? Is Ron DeSantis right? This doesn't even seem controversial to me. If you get a vaccine, you're immune, so act immune. Or is he wrong? Should we embrace this doomer mentality? Should we be wearing masks indefinitely? Should we not have rewards socially for people who do go out and get vaccinated? Tell me your thoughts. I know you will. You always do in the comments. And get rowdy in there from time to time, but try to keep it cool. I'll be watching those. If you're new around here, make sure you hit follow at facebook.com/thenewsjunkie for videos like this every single day. Also, I'm over on YouTube at youtube.com/thenewsjunkie. Hit subscribe over there. We'll talk to you again real soon.